Yes, Russell. Robot Russell. You know what I mean? Everybody has to have an alter ego. Right? Thinking about what my alter ego would be. I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited. You know what I mean? What?
Who brings your motivation, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Who's your role model, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Who's your go-to person for advice, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Oh, yes.
What the fuck is that?
How many women are creeped out?
Unlimited.
I missed that part. This is a banger, though. Thank you to Brockton for this unlimited banger.
Unlimited. So when they ask you certain questions like,
What the fuck is that
What the
shit?
fuck is that?
tell him. I'm Mr. Unlimited.
Oh, man, so good. And, of course, by the way, here at the Josh Potter Show, we do have merch up at the merch store celebrating Mr. Unlimited. If you want to go check it out, go to store.ymhstudios.com. The Buffalo style shirt has, I think, sold out. So I don't know if we'll get any more of those up soon. If we do, we'll let you know. Keep pleased to be checking the site and checking out and seeing if we've stocked those up again. We've got the hat, of course. And then again, Mr. Unlimited has been added. The Sussel shirt is up there for you, as well as the Josh Potter Show shirt. So go get all of those, again, at store.ymhstudios.com. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Josh Potter Show once again every Tuesday. And, keep liking, reviewing, and hitting subscribe, even if you've already done it. Do it again. You have no idea how much it helps me, and it goes such a long way. So if you're on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts, please to be continuing to rate, review, and subscribe. Also, I want to let you know, if you go over to ymhstudios.com, you can now purchase the 2 Bears, 1 Sap Big Game Extravaganza. How are they cloaking it? Because you can't say the words burble. Do you know how they're doing it? I'm asking you guys. You guys know more than me, right?
I actually have no idea. I just came back, so I don't know what's going on in here. Zolo, do you know?
They're just calling it the big game.
I even think, do you know that the NFL is such jerks that they're even coming down on when you, because that's a big thing in this time of year. When you work in radio, you have many ads coming across that want to sell things for the Super Bowl. And in those things, when you're advertising and you have something that you want to, maybe it's an event or there's a product where they have a special sale going on for that day, they can't say Super Bowl without getting sued by the NFL. It's a huge deal. It's actually brought down media conglomerates by them making this mistake. So it's this big, long, it's a huge thing you learn. It's like the first thing you learn is like, this is how you turn a microphone on. Don't fucking say Super Bowl. Okay? That's the next thing you learn. So these are the things in broadcasting that you come across. And now that I've learned, because the big thing that they used to step around was saying, celebrate the big game this Sunday with, and everyone knows what you're talking about. Now the NFL, I heard, was attempting to trademark the words big game. So good luck to them on that kind of thing. Good luck to them on that indeed. What else do we have to plug? Oh, yes. I have a comedy show in the year 2021. Can you believe it? It's happening March 21st, and it's at the West Palm Improv, and I hope you can come out for it. So far, it's my only show of the year, and I'd like to add more. So show up to this one, and more will be added indeed. Again, West Palm Improv down in Florida on the 21st. You can go to my Twitter at @J_Potter or my Instagram, Josh_Potter, and get tickets for that. Here in the Nice Boy Clock, though, as it is about halfway through, I wanted to bring up an actual nice boy, and that nice boy is Mr. Josh Norman. Now, Josh Norman is a cornerback in the NFL. He is a gentleman who has played at a high level in this position for many a year, and when he came to the Buffalo Bills, it's towards the end of his career. Let's face it. He's in the twilight of his career. Usually when a guy of his caliber will sign a 1-year contract with a team like the Bills, they would come in, roll their eyes, and be like, "Up, here we go." They're just trying to get a paycheck. They don't necessarily come into Buffalo wanting to be a part of the community. You know what I mean? And we've had even just high-level draft picks come in and act that way. We've had free agency acquisitions come in and act that way. Most famously, I can recall the one that still smites us to this day is Willis McGahee coming to Buffalo and saying there ain't nothing to do here but Applebee's and Dave & Buster's, and everyone lost their minds, and they wanted him out of the city, and they burned his jersey when the Bills got rid of him. And now Josh Norman came to town, and not only does he comes to town and he enjoys playing for the organization, but he enjoys living in the city of Buffalo. He tweeted at one point something about, he's like, "Man, the weather here, you hear such bad things, but it's so perfect. You got the winter in the wintertime." Like, it's such dumb nonsense. He's like, I see the leaves change. Like, it was like watching a girl tweet about the weather. You know what I mean? It was like, it was like, the leaves are so beautiful and stuff like that. I was like, all right, let's pump the brakes. But, no, the fact that he's enjoying his time there is something that is unique. And so he's decided that he wanted to start a foundation in order to help small businesses in Buffalo stay afloat during the pandemic, which we have up here. It's his Stars 24 Foundation. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because in Buffalo, we pride ourselves as a fan base for giving to charity. And every time somebody comes in and poo-poos the city of Buffalo, how do we get back at them? We spitefully donate to their charity. And it happened with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, the opposing quarterback that we beat in the divisional round of the playoffs, he was injured during the game, and because of that, Bills fans then donated to Lamar Jackson's charity. How much did they donate? Within freaking 24 hours, they donated almost $500,000, which is wonderful. No one is shaming that. But it's more than double what we've done collectively for Josh Norman at this point. And the man is in Buffalo trying to help Buffalo businesses. It makes no sense to me. And this is the thing, folks. If I have to put myself on the cross and make Buffalo hate me, the place I love, the place I grew up, the place that I come from, was born and bred, spent 30 years of my life in, if I have to make the city hate me in order for them to donate to Josh Norman, I will do it. All right? Here I am. You want my blood? Take my blood, Buffalo, all right? I'm getting on your ass for not donating to this charity right now. Prove me wrong. And maybe Roach Nation out there, all the Roach heads out there, maybe they'll get on it. People who don't live in Buffalo, and maybe they can throw in a little bit to Josh Norman's foundation to show some sort of national media on it too, because that's another thing. Everything gets kind of swept in the wash with the national media. People pick up on these spiteful donations, and people get really up in arms when you bring this fact up. They're like, "Oh, what are you, gatekeeping charity?" And it's like, no, man, it's just one of those things. Like, don't pretend to be virtuous when you're donating out of spite. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's great. It's a wonderful thing that's happening, but let's not pretend. Like, I like doing it too. Believe me, I'm a petty, shit person. Okay. So I like doing things like that as well. So I'm not sitting here trying to be in an ivory tower about it, but here's Josh Norman trying to do something nice for the city. And it gets kind of ignored, or at least swept under the rug. And I know many people didn't know about it, so I wanted to bring awareness at least to it. And if you need to hate me, Buffalo, in order to donate, then go for it. All right? And as the nice boy clock winds down, I am excited to get into some things here, because we have Enny back. And there was things I've been wanting to discuss with Enny, and he's been gone, and I haven't been around. And it's just this COVID protocol that's keeping us all rotating and swirling about, and I'm glad that you're back at least, and you're feeling better.
It's good to be back, man. I missed all you guys. It's been like 2 weeks I haven't been in here, man.
I know, and I heard at first it was to celebrate Martin. I was going to ask, what'd you do to celebrate Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah.
Did you have a good one?
It happens to be my birthday also. His birthday falls on my birthday.
Is that his birthday, or is it the day he died?
Or I don't know. Whatever the Martin Luther King Jr.
I don't know what it
is
is either, to be honest with you. I'm asking you, the authority, the man who took off for it, for the holiday. What do you do to celebrate Martin Luther King Day? You wake up and you turn on the speech and have a cup of coffee or something? What happens?
Well, I had a dream the night before.
Yeah? What was yours?
I don't know because it got interrupted by a fever, and then I woke up with insane sickness. So that was my celebration
No.
of Martin Luther King Day
I'm
and
sorry.
my birthday. I mean, it happens. Apparently, it wasn't COVID. I got tested. It was negative, but sure as hell felt like it.
You got tested negative, eh? And you were sick. That's so wild.
Yeah, I got tested twice. One with the rapid that I guess nobody trusts anymore, and then one with the 24-hour. Both said negative, but I don't know, man. Tastelessness, tightness in the chest, fevers, sore throat. I mean, come on.
What a world where the COVID is attacking you on your special day. Your birthday and Martin Luther King Day. Both indeed. I had a dream of two big booty hoes, both on my dick at once. We're out of the nice boy clock, right? Yes. Okay, good. Thank the Lord. I am so happy. Again, I wanted to bring that to light, though, because people were like, I didn't even know about Josh Norman's foundation. Well, here you go. And now maybe, like I said, Roach Nation will get on board. But let's get to some of the news, because there has been a topic in the news that has been on my mind, and I've been having to stay quarantined, and Enny's been quarantined, and finally we've come together and we can finally discuss it. Yes, the topic.
Serious with the news.
Oh boy, I have to wait for myself to shut the fuck up. The topic is, of course, cannibalism. It's come up many a time on this program, and more of in a practical sense, in case, like for instance, we do have a piece of viewer feedback here. This one coming in from Taylor. It says, I read a human being cookbook on the dark web a long time ago, and it said that the best meat came from athletic adult women, and that the thigh and bicep were the best cut. It also said that making a rump roast was a good use of the ass cheek. Said throw it in the oven with butter and olive oil and shit. That's what the recipe said? Okay. Interesting. Step 1, throw it in with butter and olive oil and shit. Or does it literally mean shit? We don't know. See, that's where it would confuse me. That's why I don't cook, folks. That's why you got to get Hello Fresh. No, I'm just kidding. I would link the whole cookbook if I could, but I'm not really into the whole dark web thing anymore, and also not into having federal agents outside my house either. That coming from Taylor. So that is, again, just what the best type of body part would eat. He did not get into ethnicity, which we've discussed quite a few times, which would be the best ethnicity. But something that we've never discussed, and maybe we did a little bit actually, because I think this kind of falls in line, a man by Enny's own heart, would be Mr. Armie Hammer. And we all know the infamous texts that have come out and all the things, and the woman that's leaking all of these texts, she's like, I'm never going to stop until what? Until his career's over? I mean, what do you make of this story so far, Enny, in your eyes, when you've read the texts?
I mean, I haven't even read the text. I'm not sure.
You haven't read the texts?
I'm not caught up, man.
Well, pull them up, because I'd like you to see them, because I have a theory on these. Do you have these? I know that we had them on, that Tom and Christina discussed them on Your Mom's House, but there was a myriad of texts, and she's going to continue to leak these. You just get down the wormhole of these things, and it's all like, very thorough, flowery language about acting as if he's a cannibal and sexually being aroused by that kind of thing. And he's starting to apologize. As of this day of recording here, Armie Hammer has issued an apology for incorrectly referring to a woman wearing lingerie in an Instagram video he posted as Miss Cayman. I would like to clarify that the person in my video, which was stolen from my private Instagram, is not Miss Cayman, Hammer said in an audio message to the Cayman Compass. I am genuinely sorry for any confusion on my foolish attempt at humor. My deep sympathies to Miss Cayman, who I do not know, and the entire organ. So he's apologizing for everything. So that's what he's apologizing. He didn't apologize for anything about the cannibalism stuff. What'd you have up there on the screen? Was that Miss Cayman?
Yeah, I had the...
Or the non-Miss Cayman, excuse-moi.
I had the girl that is not Miss Cayman in her lingerie.
AKA not Miss Cayman. Let's be clear, because Miss Kamen. So I was like confused about that. I'm like, why would we care? I thought Miss Kamen was but he's talking about like the supermodel or whatever that is, the pageant winner, Miss Kamen. And he's like, oh shit, they're gonna think that that's actually because I'm Armie Hammer. It could very well be Miss Kamen. Like I put that on my Instagram. I just have some whore in a West Hollywood hotel room, and I'm like, Miss Kamen here, and no one's coming after me being like, that's not her, because they'll know, they assume. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Armie Hammer, by the way, for those who don't know, I'm like, Armie Hammer, what is he, the baking soda heir, That's Armand Hammer, apparently, and this gentleman is a name of a gentleman who is an actor, come to find out. But he's also an oil tycoon heir. Like, so he doesn't really need, we're canceling him from what, really, at the end of the day? And for what? This is what I want to know, because we've gone over the text messages ad nauseum. We don't really need to see them any if you don't have them. I just wanted to get your thoughts on them, because it's very detailed and very flowery. And I'm pretty sure, there's a few of them up there right now. See, are you reading them? Have you gone through them in your eyes?
Just got them up, so I'm reading right now. I want to see everything.
Yeah, read them out loud for us, and I want to hear your voice as you are having your instantaneous reaction.
I want to see your brain, your blood, your organ. Damn, this dude's into some weird shit, and will definitely bite it B, 100%, or try to fuck it. Not sure which. Probably both. Yeah, probably both. If I fucked you into a vegetative state, I'd keep you, feed you. God, this man is deprived. He needs some help. All right.
Depraved,
yes. My bad.
Deprived of enough sex, it seems.
That's what I was saying.
He's a horny man.
The pussy man. He needs a.
Here's what I want to venture to say, because the woman is just leaking these texts. I don't understand what the crime is, other than he is married and has children and all that. Blah, whatever. Who gives a shit? My thing is, it's like, no women is coming out and looking like Gary Oldman in Hannibal. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are we fucking scared of here? You know what I mean? It's not like we're having a woman who's coming out with one leg and being like, Armie Hammer was my lover and he took it too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do any of this to anybody. It's just getting lost in the sauce as far as texting goes. Sexting, oftentimes, if it can ramp up, you sometimes don't know where to take it. And you have to, sometimes, you get into a bit of a realm, and then you start going down that road. And if you are a creative sort, maybe you start typing a few things that are a little out of control. Do you have some more there?
Yeah, you think he just got carried away?
Yeah, I think like he started talking about the violent stuff, the little BDSM kind of thing, and then like maybe he brought up cannibalism or something, because he seems to have a bit of a fascination with it outside of even just his sexts. As we saw, he had an Instagram post of a license plate where he was like, ha ha ha, cannibalism. But I venture to think that he just kind of like threw that one out there as a little like, this is a fun role play. And then it just got out of control. We're not seeing any of the replies, by the way. So obviously this guy wasn't sending these just unsolicited. He's replying to things that are all deleted. So fuck this girl for, basically participating in this a great deal. And then, being like, I'm outing you for your twisted sexts. And again, pull up Gary Oldman in Hannibal. I forget what his character's name is. Show that guy. If the woman came out and looked like this, I would fucking agree with her. But she doesn't. Yes, there he is right there. If she came out and she was like, he had me do papas and then he ate my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be like, wow, we need to, cancel Armie Hammer. Alas, she didn't have any of that occur, and it was just some text messages that got a little, he just upped the ante. I kind of look at it and go, hey, man, you are creative. What a writer at the end of the day. I mean, you got to respect the sext game. Did you have the other ones up? Were you going to read those? Because I do like hearing your reaction to them, because there are some good ones.
Yeah, the last one, it says blood as anal lube. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Blood as anal lube? Sick. I mean, that's how AIDS was made, right?
Yeah, it says wow, head rush. Just how completely brand you, tattoo you, mark you, shave your head, keep your hair with me, cut a piece of your skin off, make you cook it for me. Yeah, I mean, this dude is popping off. That is what I will say is like, he's just kind of feeling it.
But
going
haven't
with
you
the
ever
flow.
like gone on bent in a sexed flurry that is like off in some realm? I don't know. Sometimes you
mean-
get a little creative with it, like you're writing a novel that Fabio would be on the cover. Granted, this one's a little brutal. It has to do with cannibalism and murder. But like I said, where's the bodies?
I mean, it's true, but it's like there is a limit because whatever you do say, yeah, sure, maybe you're kind of was it embellishing or you're exaggerating, but you are down for whatever you're saying, like at least low key. So I mean, he said straight up, I'm 100% a cannibal. So I mean, that's a little different than like, yeah, I'd be down for whatever you want. You know, you want to cook a piece of skin, that's fine. I'll eat that. That's different.
That's
said
different?
I'm 100% a cannibal.
Yeah, but like again, it's role play. I mean, like I don't know. I mean, when you have let's minimize it to something where it's like, I'm a naughty schoolgirl. It's like she's not. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, she's well out of school, and hopefully, she's not that naughty too. To be quite honest, I don't want any. I mean, what'd you do? But anyhow, I just think that we need to leave Armie Hammer alone. And now he has to come out and apologize to Miss Kamen and stuff. He's backing out of movies because this is a tough look. This is what he did wrong. He's acting like this is absurd and everything like that. I would just be like, I got lost in the sauce. And then when people would be like, you said here about the vegetative state, and he'd be like, wasn't that good? That was a good one, huh? Holy shit.
It's like she said she was wet as fuck from that.
I mean,
you
my
seen her
fucking
reply.
My brain is something else, huh? Yeah, and dude, by the way, so many women have come out since, and they want to fuck Armie Hammer more now. So, yeah, good job, lady, for good job trying to cancel that guy. I don't think you can. Again, and what are you going to cancel him from? His generational wealth? The guy is a fucking oil tycoon. We've talked quite a bit about it, but I wanted to get into a quick update, and I'll pull this up on my phone here because it is an article that just literally breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news here on the Josh Potter Show, and it has to do with our good friends here, Trapt.
Headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone. Headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone.
Oh boy, did I can't find it now. But anyhow, what happened was, I do have it right here actually. The drummer for Trapt has quit the band officially. This one isn't a parlor trick either. This one is for real. It was a statement that came out today. Michael Smith, who is, God, can these guys have more generic names? Chris Brown, Michael Smith. I mean, Jesus Lord. Anywho, amid the tumultuous 2020 that the band has had, this is what the article says, by the way, which I think is hilarious. I'm going to just read the first paragraph here. The move comes after a tumultuous year for Trapt, who were entangled in headlines concerning the social media outbursts of lead singer Chris Taylor Brown. The singer was heavily critical of the Black Lives Matter movement, spread misinformation regarding the coronavirus pandemic, and was eventually booted from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter following his defense of adult women engaging in relations with underage men. He's also had hate speech considered as well, blah, blah, blah. What I think is hilarious is when you look up Chris Taylor Brown now, it says like, known for lead singer of the band Trapt and his criticism of Black Lives Matter. It's not a good byline to have. And so the drummer of Trapt released a pretty lengthy statement. He said, after playing drums for Trapt for the past couple of years, I decided to step down from the band. This is definitely a bittersweet decision. There have been some ongoing issues, primarily political, throughout 2020 that many of you may know about. Others may not. If you're curious, it's just a Google search away. I respect everyone's right to have an opinion on politics, but at the end of the day, I am a musician and my job is to play and create music, so that is what I'd like to do. As I still communicate and have great relationships with the guys in the band, I will only speak for myself. The stances taken and publicity received as a result are not representative of myself. not as an individual, nor fitting or aligned with my personal morals and beliefs. I do not agree with how certain things have been handled towards our fans in the music community, who I have such an immense respect for. So yes, Mike Smith has left the band Trapt. R.I.P.
Headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone. Headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone.
And also, a bit of news, very, very sad news to pass along, as it's just happened hours ago, but broadcasting legend, Mr. Larry King, died at the age of 87 years old. Of course, we've had our fun with him over the last couple of years on Your Mom's House, Saka Souffle and whatnot. My teeth are in my gums, whatever the hell else. But his death has spawned this week's Queef of the Week.
Queef of the Week.
And that, of course, the very special celebrity queef of Molly Stewart. Thank you once again. Pleased to be checking my Instagram if you'd like to see that one live and in person. But here's the queef of the week that involves, the reason I bring it up with Larry King is because it involves Piers Morgan. Pleased to be reading Piers Morgan's eulogy to Larry King, there, Enny.
Yeah, sure. It says, Larry King was a hero of mine until we fell out after I replaced him at CNN, and he said my show was like watching your mother-in-law go over a cliff in your new Bentley. He married 8 times, so a mother-in-law expert. But he was brilliant. He was a brilliant broadcaster and masterful TV interviewer.
Fuck you, Piers Morgan. I like how he had to throw that little in there. He's a mother-in-law expert, having been married 8 times. See, here's what's funny. If Piers Morgan died and Larry King tweeted this out where he was like, we were chill, and then we had a falling out when he took over my show, and then he like used that line. What was it again? Where it's like watching your Bentley, what?
He said it was like watching your mother-in-law go over a cliff in your new Bentley.
Yeah, so if Piers Morgan died and Larry King was like, you know, Pierce and I were very cool until he took over my show, and it was like watching my mother-in-law drive my new Bentley off a cliff. I would have laughed at that. Larry King would not have been Queef of the Week. You see how it comes out of context and who it's from, and that's how it goes? Like, I would have seen Larry King's tweet about Piers Morgan and been like, yeah, Piers Morgan's a fucking scumbag, and I would have laughed. But this one makes you this week's Queef of the Week, Piers Morgan.
Queef of the Week.
Many people thought I should make it Colin Cowherd again, because he came out and said that the AFC Championship game should be rescheduled so Patrick Mahomes could be healthy. And you know what? Because we're taping this on the eve of the AFC Championship game, I don't want to put any onus on anything. I don't even want to bring it up other than the fact that you know that it's happening, and it's already happened. I'm scared, so leave me alone, and it's already happened. But here's the thing that's also already happened, and that is the inauguration has occurred, and many of people on the internet thought something else was going to occur. I don't know what they thought, but these QAnon folk, I found very interesting that they all of a sudden had an awakening, many of them, on their websites or wherever they hide on the internet. Many of them kind of were watching the inauguration, and I guess something was supposed to happen in their world. I don't know if like aliens were supposed to come down and suck Joe Biden into a UFO, or if the pedophiles were going to be released from their cages and then they were going to fuck all the old people or something. I don't know what the QAnons were saying was going to happen, but whatever they thought was going to happen did not happen. And many of them were disillusioned at that point, saying, we were the cucks all along, things like that. Very interesting statements coming out from the awakened QAnon folks. But one guy who I did not know was a member of such QAnon folk, and that shows that they're all among us, folks. They're all over the place. It's a member of the Backstreet Boys. And which one do you ask? Well, Kevin Richardson and Brian Littrell have been Backstreet Boys bandmates for nearly 3 decades, and cousins, by the way. They're related for their entire lives. But it looks like their bond is being tested because Kevin caught the attention of fans on January 13th when he tweeted an October Cosmopolitan essay headlined, "I lost a friend to QAnon," with a caption saying, "Interesting read, eyes emoji, peace sign, heart." Those were all the emojis. Kevin then followed that tweet with another Cosmopolitan essay from the day before titled "The Unlikely Connection Between Wellness Influencers and the Pro-Trump Rioters," which he called, quote, "another interesting read with the same emojis." So he's doing some subtweeting, as the kids say, right? He's putting it out there going like, who we're all wondering, who is this to, right? That's the way I would see it. Is subtweeting, is that what it's called?
I don't know.
He's spilling
I'm
the
not
tea.
even on Twitter.
He's spilling the tea or something here.
Spilling the tea, yeah.
But he's posting these articles with little like interesting read, winky face, eyes, and everyone's like, "What's he talking about?" Well, it turns out that Brian Luttrell, who I would never, he's like the quietest of the Backstreet Boys. He's like the most unassuming of the Backstreet Boys. He is the one who's the QAnon guy. So it's just wild to me. It says here, while Richardson could have just been having a good time reading Cosmo, his tweets looked pretty pointed to fans who'd been following the Backstreet Boys recently. Just days before, Luttrell tweeted out a direction to his fans that he will now be on Parler, the controversial app, which is now banned from Apple and Google Play and offline on all the stores, blah, blah, blah. So Parler is a favorite platform of far-right figures, conspiracy theorists, and QAnon supporters, and has been taken off of the platforms. Luttrell's tweet came the same time that President Trump was banned from Twitter. He said, due to the risk of further incitement of violence, Luttrell has been a vocal supporter of the president for years. I did not know that. So he's all like, looking back on the things I've done. Yo, the Trump's the man, right? Like, he's fucking... I didn't know that there was such discord within the Backstreet Boys. And Luttrell later said it didn't work out with the rest of the band, citing their Las Vegas residency. So he left the band based off this. That is so much fucking money on the table because of politics, folks. And politics have ruined so much in the last 4 years that we have lost so many entertainers, both right and left, to derangement in politics. That is perhaps the most egregious crime of everything, is that we've had Trump derange people to the left so much to the point where they couldn't shut up about him. Every tweet was about him, and that's all that they were talking about. And now they've just lost their personalities altogether. And same with the people that were in support of him. They've lost all their personalities altogether, and now they're disillusioned. And I don't know where we go from here, but God, I hope we can we just have the damn Backstreet Boys back, for Christ's sake? That's the least political thing I've ever wanted. You know, I just want to listen to the call and fucking not have to think about politics for 2 seconds. AJ just celebrated a birthday and is repping the Biden-Harris administration. Why, AJ? Who cares? You don't need to do that. Nick's having a baby, and Howie is barely on social media these days. So there you go. What if Luttrell wasn't even a Trump supporter? He just was getting on Parler because he just thought it was a new app. I thought it was a new one. I'm like, should I get a Parler? And then people were like, no, you probably shouldn't. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it got deleted anyways from the world. So who cares, right? Like I said, the championship games have just occurred. So, the Bills are either in the Super Bowl or they're not. And I'm playing with house money. In the moment that I'm sitting here on the eve of the game, I'm playing with house money. So if the Bills do lose, I'm not upset or anything like that. So you don't have to be like sorry or feel sorry for me. I can't believe that we're in the AFC Championship. And for those of you who don't know, guys like Enny and Zolo probably, this has not happened since I was 9 years old. I mean, this is the craziest shit I've had. This is like Hail Bob's Comet. I feel like I need to, get a bunch of friends together and drink some Kool-Aid so that we can all go on the ride together. But let's get into sports, because other things have been occurring around and about the sports world. And we talked about sexts a little bit earlier when it came to Armie Hammer. We have another story, and I even bumped this man for Queef of the Week, but we'll get into it with the sports.
It's the sports segment. You are watching the Josh Potter Show. It's the sports segment. You're watching the Josh Potter Show.
Oh, that was beautiful. Who was that? Caleb something, I says? It's cut off on my soundboard here, so I can't give credit where credit is due. But if you know any, do let me know. But before we get into that, I wanted to discuss Jared Porter, now disgraced general manager of the New York Mets. The Mets just recently purchased by a new owner, Stephen Cohen. So people who are Mets fans are thinking like, wow, we have a very bright future ahead of us, do we not? I mean, this is wonderful. We have a new owner who's going to open the purse strings. He's going to, he already brought you a wonderful trade that he made with the Indians, getting Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco. So things were looking up for Mets fans. But Jared Porter, this fucking guy, has been fired due to disturbing texts that he sent as he was rising to his role as Mets GM. You see, Jared Porter sent a female reporter. He sent a female reporter these texts. This is the whole you don't fuck police horses argument, okay? You only fuck horses who are in random stables. You don't fuck police horses. You don't text sexts unsolicited to reporters, the ones who are going to report on you. It's silly. He sent the female reporter unsolicited sexually explicit text back in 2016, years before being hired as the Mets GM. The text stayed secret for years as he rose to power. According to the ESPN report, Porter met the woman, a foreign correspondent, which comes into play here, that's why they bring it up, who moved to the U.S. to cover the Major League Baseball League, in a Yankee Stadium elevator in 2016. That's how they met. So they're just in an elevator. He's like, what's up? Let me get your number so I can send you my dick. After texting her frequently over a span of weeks, he sent her a burst of 17 photos. The final one of a bare erect penis. I mean, well, yeah, that's usually how a dick pic goes, right? They're bare and erect. I mean, if you're sending a covered soft penis, that's just a picture of your pants.
You don't send like the half? You always send the full?
I mean, I guess, but I'm saying bare. I mean, like, the opposite of bare erect penis is just you sending a picture of you wearing pants. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just sending a picture of your pants.
Sending a picture of the bulge?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, you send a little halfy, of course. You have it at different. I have headshots at all different stages. You know, we've got a bearskin rug. We've got a fucking fire in the background, a glass of Chardonnay, you know? The whole to do. But I don't send 17 unsolicited. I don't send, like, if I don't get a response after 2, I'm not going like, I got to do about 13 more and then the dick pic's really going to put it over the top. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, have a little couth, right?
Maybe what he did was the third one was the one with the bear skin and the fireplace. Like, this is what's going to do it. She's going to respond to this type.
We don't have any of the texts, Stewie, because they didn't put these out there like they did with Armie Hammer.
No, I wish we did.
I wish we did too, but because there were so many. So to give a little more of the backstory here real quick, Porter was working for the Chicago Cubs at the time and was hired as assistant GM for the Diamondbacks that offseason. But ESPN had knowledge of the explicit texts as early as 2017. They interviewed the woman and planned to report on the story. But the woman ended up declining to go forward as she feared she would receive backlash in her home country. Now, not here, in her home country. This is what she said, quote, "I know in the United States there is a women's empowerment movement going on, but in my home country, it's still far behind," the woman said. According to the ESPN report, women get dragged through the mud if your name is associated with any type of sexual scandal. Women are the ones who get fingers pointed at them. I don't want to go through the victimization process again. I don't want the other people to blame me. The woman who was dealing with anxiety spoke to a Cubs employee about the texts in 2016 during the postseason when she was considering a lawsuit. According to the report, the employee pressed her on whether she was going to move forward with legal action. So she was just listening to both. I didn't want to ruin anything. I didn't want to be on one side. Now, however, the woman has decided to come forward. My number one motive is I want to prevent this from happening to someone else. Obviously, he's in a much greater position of power. I want to prevent that from happening again. The other thing is I never really got the notion that he was truly sorry. So Porter was fired immediately as the Mets general manager. This is just a sign of a gentleman who doesn't know any better. I mean, how do you do that? Just as a guy. I mean, you laugh, but it is true. Like, we've all sent dick pics. Let's not talk like we're above bar here. I just would never want to or think to do it when it's not asked for. Yeah, you said that with, I mean, you can chime in here. You said that very loudly without the microphone on.
Yeah, I just, I mean, that's the number one, if you do, it's like, what message are you trying to send? Like, essentially, when you're DMing, it's like you're in public. So, would you just whip the D out in public? Or?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and there are guys that have done that, by the way. I've heard stories from women who, like, they're in a car with a guy and then all of a sudden his dick's just out.
Right, and then they got fired too, because that's what you don't do.
Not only do they get fired, but they don't get their dick sucked. Seemingly ever. I don't think it's ever happened where they just take it out and then they're like, huh? Unless you're like in a thing where that's like your game. You know what I'm saying? Like you could grow to that point perhaps, but not right away. I make sure that I at least have 5 or 6 in my arsenal that they have sent me before I give them the D. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't have much else to work with. It's not like I'm sending an abs pic or anything. You know what I mean? Like I got one go-to and that is the D pic.
Yeah, it's the holy grail, right? It's everything that they've been waiting for. But that's the thing is that they got to wait for it. Because if you just do it, then it's like
exactly.
It's like you're desperate. It's like you've been wanting to do that the whole time, and it's no one responds to that.
Yeah, it's a bad look. Take it from Enny, guys. Take it from Enny. He knows better. It's a bad look to just send your dick pic. If I could help anybody out there who's even considering being a Jared Porter and just sending a D pic without explicitly getting asked for it, just don't do it. Just please, Lord. And Jared Porter sent 67 like, again, without, this woman was not like the Armie Hammer woman. This woman was not writing back. She was just completely ignoring it, and he kept going. That's just sad. I don't care if you're the freaking... He's the general manager of the Mets. He could fuck probably anybody he wants. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he has power. He has money. And he was coming up, and I don't know if maybe through that mental state, he thought, like, I can just send texts willy-nilly to this person. It's just like, have a little bit of fucking pride, though. Act like you've been there before, at the very least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's rough. I can't imagine what you think would happen after 17. I mean, what?
It's making you look worse. Like, how does that make your bravado increase anymore? Like, you're a fucking cuck. You're sending 17 texts unsolicited like that. Like, I don't know. He's a grimeball. I'm glad I don't care when people like that get fired. Like, if Armie Hammer gets fired from his movie, I'm annoyed because it's like, for what? What did he do that was so bad? This one, there was only one side of participation. You know what I mean? It was essentially sex rape.
Yeah, pretty much actually. That is kind of what that would be translated as. I mean, it's sad. It's sad is really the thing.
It is sad. He is a sad man. That is very true. You know, the dick pic wasn't in the New York Post, but hey, if anyone's out there knows where it is, let's put it up there. I wanted to bring this up, though, too, because now this is the opposite story, essentially. And this doesn't have to do with sports necessarily, but it comes up because of the fact that we have this Jared Porter story. This is a gentleman who, now, imagine, if you will, obviously, a heinous crime is if you were to, you know, say, go on a giant spree of...
murder.
And you didn't have any remorse or anything like that, and you did it, and you were caught, and you went to jail. I have no remorse for you. I have no sympathy for you whatsoever. But say, all of a sudden, you're just minding your own business, and then the cops accuse you of going on a giant
murder
spree. That's a nightmare. Now you're in jail. You didn't do it, but you're getting framed for it. So imagine, if you will, apply that analogy to the Jared Porter situation, where a woman claims that you have been sending her nude photos unsolicitedly, and you're not. You're like, no, I never sent that. Well, here, a Louisiana woman was arrested after mailing private nude images of a male acquaintance to more than 24 people, authorities said. Sarah Ferris, 32, allegedly drove to Texas to send the photos, along with degrading letters about her victim. The sheriff's office said a number of different people contacted him and said, hey, we received something through the mail. and it has photographs of you. The victim, who wasn't publicly identified, told the outlet that Ferris sent out hundreds of pictures of him in lewd acts, along with strongly worded letters defaming him. He said Ferris got her hands on the images through his Facebook, which she was able to access because she created the account for him years ago. Their relationship wasn't clear, but the station described Ferris and the victim as colleagues. Some of the images also featured another person. The sheriff's office said Ferris was taken into custody on December 28th. When investigators first learned of the letters, she was released on $75,000 bond that same day. Good God, I would have been in jail a long time if that was my bond. She was arrested again on Thursday after investigators found out that the other person's private photos were also included in the letters. She's now out again on another $15,000 bond in the second arrest. Faces 180 counts of non-consensual disclosure of private image. So could you imagine that? You get a little ringy-dingy. Hi, Enny. Just so you know, got a little thing in the mail from you. Wanted to ask you about it. It has some pictures. You know what I'm talking about?
I'd be like, yeah, let me see which one. I'll pull out the file. I got a whole file cabinet filled with that. That's the thing, because these days that could happen. But that's why, like you said, you get 6 in the arsenal first. So she says that, I'd be like, okay, you want to play?
Well, that's the thing. Like if a woman if all women who have my dick pic, I have a bunch of nudes of them too. So it's like if they got like mad at me, which they wouldn't, because I don't send. You know what I mean? Like I haven't done it. You know, there's no woman who has my dick pic that's mad at me. So my point is, if they did get mad at me or something like that and wanted to put my dick pic online, I'd be like, cool, yeah, that's my dick, whatever. Now here's yours. So, all right, you know, you want to play that game. But is that revenge? Would I go to jail for that?
I think you'd both go to jail in that case, because it's not
like revenge porn. But hers was first, so mine's like self-defense revenge.
Self-defense.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be a lawyer. Yeah, I'd fight for you.
I think I could get away with it that way. If it was self-defense revenge porn.
Like, what was he supposed to do? Just sit there and take it?
Right.
It was the only move he could have made.
I was just defending myself, officer. I was just, she put my dick on the internet, so I put her tits on afterwards. I wanted to talk about this Mike Davis situation here, and that since we're in the sports. Mike Davis, of course, the running back of the Carolina Panthers, or at least he was. And now that Christian McCaffrey is going to be coming back, it's going to stand the fact that it's going to look like Mike Davis is going to get a lucrative contract out of this season. So you're wondering, how much money is he going to make? Oh my goodness, it's going to be such a wonderful deal. Well, guess what? He's still shocked at how much potato chips cost. And to be quite honest with you, when I saw this article, I was like, oh, here we go. Another one of these out of touch millionaires being like, oh, potato chips cost this much money. So how much do you think these, I mean, you saw the article, Enny, probably, right? Or did Zolo see it? Which one of you? Did Zolo see it?
I saw that.
Did Zolo?
No, not yet.
Zola, how much do you think these potato chips cost? It was a family-size bag of Ruffles.
Maybe like $3.
$3 for a family-size bag.
Maybe like 4 or 5.
Well, it turns out the correct answer is $10.
That seems high to me.
It seems pretty high. Zolo's even like, what the fuck? So Mike Davis, who's the Carolina Panthers running back, saw it and goes, what? And he posted a Twitter post of it Sunday afternoon, and he invited his followers to guess how much they thought the amount was, with a promise to Cash App the amount. So if someone got it right, he would Cash App the amount to them. So that was nice of him. Do you have the image of this? You said you have images on standby here. Of Mike Davis. There we are. There's the chips. So those, is there anything special about them? Enny, you know about chips?
No, those are regular old.
Would you pay $10? Have you paid $10 for chips before? You buy because you buy groceries for like your whole house and shit. So like you're buying chips. So you got to get the family bag. You've never seen a $10 chips, eh?
I mean, I don't really get groceries. We do Postmates, so it's I don't really go there. But $10 for chips. That is kind of nuts. Like, where are you shopping?
Yeah, and it doesn't say exactly where he was shopping, but nevertheless, he is going to be able to afford quite a bit of chips next year because his 2020, his cap number for the Panthers was $3 million for what was supposed to be a backup role, but he definitely showed out. So he's going to get paid next year. And also stuff going on as I wrap up here. I want to wrap up with one final story. The poor Detroit Lions, you see, because the Buffalo Bills, as I said, no matter what has happened, I love you, Buffalo Bills. Whether you've won or lost this past Sunday, whether we're going to the Super Bowl or we just came up short by one game, I love you either way. I would have loved you if you went 9-7 like every other year. I would have loved you if you went 8-8. You know what I'm saying? Every year I make the same bet on the Bills winning the Super Bowl, and this year was no different. But there are some franchises, like let's look at the Cleveland Browns, for instance. They got the monkey off their back this season by finally making the playoffs as well and defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field for the first time in forever in the wild card round. Unbelievable. Now it's your turn, Detroit. You got to get the monkey off your back now. Your organization has been dog shit for so long. And, you know, with firing Matt Patricia, who went whimpering back to Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots to suck on that little Belichick tit and be like, I'm back, Daddy. Now that Matt Patricia's gone, they've hired a new coach, Dan Campbell. And when new coaches are hired, we see the introductory press conference. It's a very important press conference for those who don't follow football. It's where we get to learn about the coach. We get to hear his words for the first time. Will he be a leader of men, or is he going to be yet another short chapter and an eventual reset button? Well, the Detroit Lions have decided to hire Dan Campbell, who I can't remember off the top of my head the lineage of Dan Campbell here. Let me see if I've got a thing about Dan Campbell. Probably not. Nope. Well, Dan Campbell, I can't remember where he was a coordinator before, but I do recall him being a player on the Detroit Lions back when they went 0-16. Now, why would you want to bring a guy who was a member of that 0-16 team back into the organization and exercise those demons? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want that stink on my team anymore. Even though he has a very small part in it and not necessarily responsible for it, he was a player on the team that went winless. So let's hear his introductory press conference. Maybe he'll change my mind.
I can sit up here and give you coach speak all day long. I can give you, hey, we're going to win this many games. I can't. None of that matters, and you guys don't want to hear it anyway. You've had enough of that shit. So excuse my language. The city's been down, and it found a way to get up. All right, it's found a way to overcome adversity. All right, and so this team's going to be built on. We're going to kick you in the teeth. All right, and when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you, and when you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing, all right? That's going to be the mentality.
All right, and then we're going to take another kneecap, and your 5th kneecap, we're going to bite that one, and then you're going to knock us down, all right? And then we're going to get back up. See, I like that he said shit. That was cool. I like when my coach curses in his introductory press conference. That's awesome. I like that he goes, we're going to kick you in the teeth. But he didn't have it all planned out. You know? This was a big press conference for him. You need it to be all planned out. It seemed like he started getting a little too into his own talking. And he started going down a bit of a wormhole. And he's no Armie Hammer. Let me tell you, he ran out of body parts real quick, and he ran out of things that he was going to do to him because he's just going to bite a kneecap off, then he's going to bite another one off. I mean, come on, do something else. Stick your finger up an ass. Do something wild, Dan Campbell. Get creative with it, all right? Talk about fucking them in a vegetative state, the way that Armie Hammer did, you know? He could use a little bit of lessons in literary speak. That's all that I'm saying. As far as his coaching career goes, he came to the Detroit Lions after being Sean Payton's assistant and tight ends coach for the New Orleans Saints since 2016. But he came over to the Lions, and so I watched that introductory press conference, and I said to myself, will Dan Campbell be an effective coach? I did like it. You know what I mean? Despite the fact that he kind of ran out of things to say there at the end and kept repeating himself a little bit. I like that he said shit, and I like that he's going to eat some people and do that kind of thing. But when he decided to get his office together, he posted this image, and this is what he put on the nameplate outside of his office. It says, Dan Campbell, head coach / the dude. Well, I'm afraid, Detroit, you are not going to be winning anything anytime soon. You are fucked, my friends. It's not going to be good, all right? I mean, in fact, this guy is just close to being...
Queef of the week.
I mean, the dude... Ugh. If you had a boss like that, would you respect him any?
It'd be different if he said that dude, because it's like, that's just a different...
His is like trying to be like the Big Lebowski, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is like the big man. It's like, oh, okay, man, cool.
Yeah, and
you're really cool.
It's like he's going to be with these players because he's not too far removed from being a player himself, by the way. So he thinks like, oh, I'll be bros with all the players. This is the dude. I'm so chill, bro. Like that kind of thing. And eventually these millionaire players, they lose respect for that kind of thing real quick. And we'll find out if he's going to be the type of player coach that gets walked all over, or if maybe he'll be a leader of men. Who the hell knows? But that dude nameplate, man, you know, that gives me fucking...
Mr. Unlimited.
Gives me those types of vibes. Just douche chills out the ass. Let's take a look real quick before we get out of here at some of the remainder of the feedback that we've gotten from you, which, by the way, you can send to me at Josh Potter Show at ymhstudios.com. This one from Kevin. It says, every episode seems to get better and better. My world seems far more
unlimited
when I view your action. Keep shitting on dummies and queefing into the future. That from Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Sorry I was late on that button there. New soundboard we have, which I love very much. Thank you to Enny for putting that together despite his sickness. Loving the show, Cockroach. Curious about your take on female body hair. My girlfriend keeps it hairy, and I surprisingly love it. Wondering how you feel, Ben. Wondering how you feel, from Ben. Well, Ben, thank you for asking. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to the body hair. Despite the fact that I have it, and I don it, and I show it off, and I own it, and carry it, you know what I mean? Like, and expect women to find it sexy. I don't find it I'm not too into it. I don't really give a shit about like if they don't have a shaved vagina or something like that, but like arm hair and stuff like that, I don't know. Not really my bag. Enny, what are your thoughts on body hair? You want them like a seal, right?
Yeah, I'm the same, man. I don't do all the hair. I mean, like, you know, it's not a big deal, but the less the better, yeah. But and I don't think you're being a hypocrite, by the way, because I do the same. I mean, I don't have as much, but I do the same, and it's because they generally like it. I've heard more say that they like it that way than for me to be half shaved or whatever.
I have had that as well, and you learn that as you mature, by the way, because, and I think women maybe learn that about themselves as they mature, because when you're a kid and you're coming up in high school or whatever, you think like you should be hair. Like when you're getting body hair, you're like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm gross or whatever, and then you find out that they're into it. And, you know, Tom Selleck had that whole thing. Same with Sean Connery. I was like, how come girls want to fuck them? And then I would be like 16 and I'd look like Teen Wolf and I'd be like I'd be naring my whole body. I went on a spring break trip and nared my entire body because I thought that's what women wanted.
God damn. The whole body?
The whole body, dude. I put nair. It took 2 bottles. It took about 3 hours and it burned.
Of course it did.
And I was hairless. I looked like a fucking lunatic because then also like I would have, you know, hair on my arm here, but like nothing anywhere else. Like it was so weird how it just like started here then. and then that it would just be bald. Like I
Wait.
didn't know how to blend it.
You said you went on spring break too?
Yeah.
I was on spring break. So did you go like in water?
Yeah, to Myrtle Beach.
Oh my!
The salt water was fucking brutal, dog.
Ooh.
Dude, it was the worst. I ended up just wearing a shirt anyways because even like the sunlight hitting me fucking killed me. All just so I could try and get laid. I didn't even get laid. Fuck
You idiot woman! Idiot woman!
But I do like the slippery smooth hairlessness of a bald vagina. I just really do.
Yeah, it's just it's less in the way. It's easier access, makes everything smooth.
Yeah, it's pretty wonderful. But hey, if you want to have a little, for lack of a better word, the Hitler mustache on there, that's fine. I don't mind that. Whatever floats your boat, ladies, I'm going to be just fine with it regardless. I really don't have a preference either way, but I do, like I said, I guess I do have a preference either way. I enjoy unshaven vaginas. So that's a great place to leave you with that thought, I believe. Keep them vaginas bare, ladies.
Yeah, it's Russell. Robot Russell.
It's Robot Russell, baby.
You know what I mean? Everybody has to have an ultra.
So one more time, West Palm Improv going down March 21st. Tickets are on sale right now. Pleased to be buying those. And you can get them on my Twitter. It's the pinned tweet. @J_Potter is my Twitter handle. @Josh_Potter is my Instagram handle. It's up there as well. Or you can just go to the Palm Beach Improv and get the tickets yourself up on their website. I can't wait to see you. It's my only show so far this year, and I want it to be a banger. So again, West Palm Improv, March 21st. Other than that, go up to ymhstudios.com. 2 Bears, 1 Sap is happening the night of the big game. So go buy those tickets, and perhaps we'll be involved in that in some capacity. Other than that, keep things coming over to the email, joshpottershow@ymhstudios.com. Keep rating, reviewing, and subscribing. It helps so much. And if you've already done it, do it again, please. I would appreciate it a great deal. And one last time, go over to the store and scoop up the merch, including Mr. Unlimited himself, the Sussel merch, still available. So is the Buffalo hat and the Josh Potter Show shirt. Again, store.ymhstudios.com. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you to Enny. Glad you're back. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you to Zolo. And thank you to all of you for returning once again to the Josh Potter Show.
Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited.